welcome to the new episode of Tam Handcrafts Chats with Miss TeeKay. And I had the privilege of welcoming a art therapist to Tam Handcrafts episode 2. So please tell us who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. My name is Janaline, and at the moment, I'm one of those dual people. I'm an art therapist who I do online art therapy or more therapeutic art with women, and during the daytime, I teach at a middle school.
Wow,
So at the moment, I'm juggling both worlds
I
until I get settled fully again into just art therapy.
I love that. Absolutely love that. Now I'm probably going to go off topic because now you just inspired me to think of something else. So what made you get into art therapy? Like what is your background? Because you say you're a teacher as well.
Well, yeah, I've been teaching for years. And as I've been teaching, I actually move countries a lot. This
Hmm.
is my 13th country where I'm living and working in.
Wow.
Throughout the years, I always had art to accompany me. Art was always there as my friend when I get angry or mad, but I never knew art could be this healing medicine as well.
Hmm.
And about 6 years ago, I was angry. I was just, even in work, I was like, was frustrating me. Everything got me angry.
Yeah.
And somebody asked me, have I tried therapy? I'm like, yes, I've tried the whole talk therapy thing. It's just frustrating me because they want me to tell you in words how I'm feeling. And I'm like, oh, can't.
Yes.
And I was sitting down with one of my students and we were having an art lesson. And I was like, oh, what do you want to make today? And she's like, I'm angry. I just want to throw the paint. And I'm like, okay, where are you going to throw this paint? She's like, just on the canvas. And she started throwing the paint on the canvas. And as later on, she just calmed down. And I was like, how are you feeling now? And she's like, no, she's okay now. Now she's okay. And she ran off. I was like, oh, okay. And I started a bit of research about what is it with being creative and so on. And then somebody told me, but art therapy is something to heal you. There is this whole thing about art healing you. I was like, okay. So I signed up for art journaling classes where you write and paint. And this whole new world opened up for me. And
Mm,
after a couple of years, maybe about a year or so, I started, the anger was gone, but then I had to deal with all these other things that came up through the art. And after a couple of years of being healed or being in this world of art and how it changed me, I said, you know what? I would like to give this back to the world. I would
mm,
like to give this to children, to women, to other people struggling with something. So then I went and at the age of 40, I started, let's go study again.
love that.
Studying with all the young ones, studying art therapy. And I was placed at a middle school and primary school to do
Mm,
my art therapy internship. So
oh,
it just combined the whole teaching and art therapy. And
mm,
it just showed me what I love doing.
I
And I found my passion after. I was like, I've always loved art. I've always loved teaching, but just being able to do them together.
that is beautiful.
So that's how I ended up with art therapy. Was
So so right now, where are you?
I finished my studies in Canada, finished all my articles. I'm a certified art therapist, and then I moved to Kuwait.
Wow.
So
So
while I'm here doing online art therapy, getting that started, but I'm sure, as you know, there's nothing green in Kuwait.
mm,
It's desert, it's brown. So I've already decided in about a couple of years, I'll move somewhere green and
Mm,
then be able to do more art therapy in person again. But right now, I'm doing it online as most of my clients are situated around Europe or America or Canada.
I love that. Oh, that's so, so beautiful. So, since it's online, what does a typical session look like for you?
All right, there's mainly, I would say, there's two kinds of sessions I would have. One would be where I would always start with a check in, check where my client is. Well, how is she feeling that day? Maybe there's something specific she wants to talk about or she needs to work on. So we'll start talking about that and then we will move on to explore it through art.
Mm,
If if she's, example, angry at somebody at work or something happened, maybe she needs to put that anger down, not only in words, but in colors. So she'll take two different colors and get that anger in how it makes her feel, the movement of her body down on paper.
mm,
And she'll create, and as she creates, we might talk as it goes on. Some clients like to create with silence, which is I'm there the whole time with them. And then after they've created, we will discuss the art.
mm,
Mainly, the client will end up discussing their own artwork.
yeah.
What do they see in it? What they felt like? What they think of? And what insights they brought? And things of how they now feel afterwards and what they want to do about this, how they can maybe bring this into their day. And then we'll have a little closing activity. If it was a bit upsetting session, a calming activity to do at the end. And the other session would be if my client asked to work on something specific.
Mm,
So then we would have a check in and then start discussing. Example, boundaries. She
yeah.
wants to work on building boundaries, and we'll discuss that. And then we'll have an art activity that is formed or created around how boundaries or but for her. So if my client is a gardener, we would have you create maybe your own garden, your secret garden, and how would you defend that? How would you create your boundaries around that? For children, I have had a sand pit. One of my children liked to play in a sand pit, and how would he then protect it and keep other children out? And you change it according to your client. And so I would say those are the two main sessions. Would be one where we go with how my client is feeling and what they need that day in that moment.
Yeah.
Or we would be working on something that might be changing from session to session, but we know beforehand. So they might have a little bit of homework to do or tasks they want to do before or afterwards as well.
That's beautiful. Now, what about the clients that says like, "Well, I'm not really artist. I'm not really very creative." Like, how do you navigate that?
Well, first off, art therapy is not about creating any art. We're not going to create something pretty you're going to put on the wall. Okay, sometimes you do. Sometimes you create something that you want to put on the wall as a reminder of
Yeah.
something that happened or as a reminder of a moment. But often you create something that you might even end up tearing up. You
Mm-hmm.
might end up destroying what you've written. So I will start with something non intimidating.
Okay.
I would start with, for example, I love to start with there's this couple of lines of something you write down,
Mm-hmm.
something you're feeling, you would write it down, words you're thinking or that's going through your mind now. And then around each word or next to each word, what color does that make you think of? So any marks or shapes or anything you want to do, create that next to this word or over the word if you don't want to see that word anymore. If it was an angry word, how would you cover it up?
Yeah.
Just Something simple like, okay, what colors did you use?
Mhm. Mhm.
You used blue. Why?
Mhm.
Why did you use blue to cover up that angry word? Oh, because they find blue calming, maybe because of water. And we would go into how they can then bring that into their day, maybe a walk along the river or something. But we would always start with something not intimidating, even with a scribble.
Yeah.
Make a scribble of how you're feeling right now. But don't, not, I'm angry, I must make an angry scribble. Just make a scribble, look at
Yeah.
it, and tell me how you're feeling, but connected to the scribble. And take it from there. What do you see in it? How do you connect it? It's how would you change it? But it's never about creating a piece of art.
Yeah. I love that. It's so beautiful. All right. So, with the healing part of art therapy, like how have you helped clients that has like anxiety or trauma? Like what does a session look like if someone just had like maybe a grief hiccup? I'll call it a grief
All right.
hiccup.
Uh, a session when they had what? Sorry?
So I call it a grief hiccup, but maybe they've been triggered
All
uh
right.
by a trauma that they're trying to, overcome.
I had a client who used to have a lot of panic attacks.
Mhm.
A lot of panic attacks. And people don't always realize that art therapy is not just about the picture, it brings everything in, your whole body.
Mhm.
So, a lot of the time, the panic gets stored into your body.
Yeah.
So, you hold on to it. So, you feel this tightness. You feel it's in there and you can't breathe and you can't do anything. And she got this panic attack moments before our session started. So, it was like, then to tell somebody to calm down is useless. It's like telling somebody, don't think of the sky as blue, kind of thing. Now, before I do anything, I usually explain to my clients why I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
So I explain to her, you're now in a panic. You're not going to be thinking straight.
Mhm.
When any wild animal, like a buck or a reindeer, they're in a panic because they've just been chased by a lion.
Mm.
What they usually do after a panic is they shake. They stand there and they literally shake.
Mm.
They sort of let it go. So what I want you to do is stand up with me and let's shake a bit. Let's shake it. And we stood there and shake it all out. Now take that movement after you've shaken it. Sit down, that movement your hands are making. If you're shaking like this or shaking it out, pick up two colors of crayons or pastels and follow that movement onto the page. Follow
Mm.
the movement and that helps your body. You've now get releasing this energy, releasing this anxiety onto the page. And as you move it, after a while, your body will start making different movement of something that might be more safety wise, or it brings you into a more calm zone without somebody telling you to relax, without
Mhm.
somebody telling you anything. And she found that that exercise really helped her. And
Mm.
she started doing that at night when she had night terrors. She would stand up and shake a little bit. So it's something small that she
Yeah.
performed. And how it starts, your body remembers the calming.
Yeah.
And after a while, you don't need, if at first time you needed to do that for 20 minutes to calm down, next time you maybe need it for 15 minutes. And it's for shorter periods
Yeah.
that you need to do the same thing to calm down. So
Mm.
it's bringing it all together, the art, your body movement, your thoughts, the colors, and you don't need to speak. You
Mm.
don't need to tell me why you're upset. You don't need to tell me why you're having a panic attack,
Mhm.
but your body will help you move through it. So that is one thing that I saw in person that was, it reminded me of the power of the movement with the art.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Now, when we help others, we honestly is helping ourselves, right?
Oh, yes.
So how has art therapy helped you?
Oh, art therapy has helped me work through a lot of things. First, I think it was a lot of anxiety as well, anxiety and anger. And as I created my art with this anger, I started noticing, but it actually looks sad. I'm
Yeah.
angry while creating it, but the art looks sad.
Yeah.
And the art showed me that I'm grieving
Mm-hmm.
because I never allowed myself to grieve previously. You're a strong person. You're going to cry over something like that the whole time. If I cried for a month, it's fine, it's done. And that allowed me to process my grief.
Mm-hmm.
And I suddenly felt like I could let go of this weight.
Yeah.
But it was more powerful than talk therapy alone.
Yeah.
Just talking about it, I think talking about it, you can separate it from your body.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when you work and you have to move your arms, you have to move your body as you tear, as you create, you move your body, and it's the colors and the
Mm-hmm.
symbols you create
Yeah.
that helps you to heal. So, because I experienced that healing power, I want to share it with other people. That is, I love seeing when somebody actually gets that little bit of healing from the art that they needed, that last little bit that they couldn't get somewhere, or a start to
Mm-hmm.
move forward again.
Mm. That's so beautiful. All right, we're going to switch a little gears just a bit and kind of talk about the business aspect of it. So, what are some challenges and rewards of running a healing centered business?
All right, one of my biggest challenges was I'm everything. I am the therapist, I am the content creator, I am the accountant, the organizer, the scheduler, everything. So I, it was learning the hard way for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think it's still because I'm not doing this full time. I can't give all my attention just to my business full time. I still need to teach during the day. So finding that balance, the first couple of months was hard. I
Yeah.
admit that was hard and I was tired. You would
Yeah.
find me on like a Thursday afternoon, I'd be like, can't move. Somebody would be like, are you going for a coffee? I'm like, no. Oh, you have another. Are you going somewhere else? I'm like, no. I'm going to lie down, do nothing.
Yes, it's burnout.
That was the hard thing for me to learn to not spend all my free time
Yeah.
then working just on my business and weekends solidly on my business
Yeah.
and teaching every day, like creating a boundary for myself of one day of nothing,
Yeah.
one day of just making art for myself, going for a walk. But in doing that, I think it showed me how to help my clients create those boundaries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I understand you want to do everything 24/7. You're like, oh no, no, this is my business and my work. I have to. It's for me.
Right. Right. Mm.
So, but once I found that balance, or I don't think I've totally found the balance 100% yet. But I try to take one full day a weekend where I just do art and do nothing
Yeah.
business wise or work wise or school wise or anything like that.
That's good. That's good.
And the most rewarding part is seeing the change in people.
Mm-hmm.
I think my first time I saw, or the first time I saw that it can really help somebody change their attitude, change the way they deal with things, was actually one of the children I was seeing for art therapy.
Wow.
And he didn't want to draw, which is fine. I found out what he loves, and he loved music. He loves Eminem. I'm like, yes. Did you know Eminem is an artist? I told him. He's like, what do you mean an artist? I'm like, he's a poet.
Mhm. Mhm.
Writes these beautiful songs. It's an art to write songs and to be able to perform them.
Mhm.
And this little boy was there because he had lots of anger issues.
Mhm.
He'd get very angry and scream and shout. He's 7 years old. He's still young. So we started with him writing down his angry. He
Mhm.
would say he's writing his angry down, and he didn't want to show me his angry. We got him a little notebook that he would carry with him.
Mhm.
And a couple of months went by and we talked again. And I was like, so when last did you get into a fight?
Mhm.
He was like, he thought about it. He's like, no, it's been like 3 months. I'm like, when last did you punch somebody? He's like, no, 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 the 3 months ago. I'm like, yeah, it's a long time, right? He's like, yeah, it's a very long time. I'm like, when was the last time you screamed out in the classroom and you kicked somebody and you ran out? And he's like, no, no, more than 3 months. I'm like, whoa, that's a long time. He's like, yeah. I'm like, so what do you do now when you get angry? Do you not get angry anymore? He's like, no, when he gets angry, he puts up his hand and he asks the teacher if he can go to the bathroom. He takes his notebook and then he writes some angry poetry and he comes back and he is calm.
Wow. That's
And I
beautiful.
was like, okay, I think I'm going to give that a win because this kid has found a way to channel his anger. And that showed me that art therapy, it's not just about colors and pictures, it's also words. But it's not just about the talking because he had been to talk therapy and things, but it's about the actions, the doing, and having. I think it was, yeah. So that was my first time of seeing the power that
Mm.
it has in even little kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's going to change his life. He's going to carry it with him. He's going to be
Yeah.
like, yep, angry poetry. That's his
Mhm.
thing.
I remember even when I was little and my brother, they were teaching my brother how to spell his name, and they taught him singing. So his name is Tommy. So they says Tommy, Tommy, and I still remember that, and that wasn't my name. But it was something that we put into art form, and so art has so many dimensions to it that it's not just about drawing. It's poetry, it's dancing, like movement, you said. It's even like going out in nature, as you mentioned, and like the you use the blue, and then you go out and you go near water. Like the whole world is a art canvas, and so that is so beautiful. So, what do you hope each client walks away with after working with you?
First, I think a lot of time it's people just want to be heard.
Yeah,
People just want somebody to hear them,
yeah.
not to give advice,
Hmm.
not to try and fix them,
Hmm.
just to listen and to listen to understand,
Yeah.
not just to listen to reply, not just to listen to give advice. But, ooh, yeah, that reminds me of this story, which I can now tell you how.
Hmm.
They want to feel heard. They want to express
Yeah.
themselves, but not have to explain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want a client to feel heard, to feel understood, but also to feel a little bit lighter.
Mm. Yeah.
A little bit of, I could get rid of a little bit of the pain or the grief,
Oh,
or I could just move it a little bit, create
yeah.
a container for it to be in a place,
Mm-hmm.
to let go of a little bit of the anger and maybe know, oh, I'm angry because I'm actually scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared because my partner is terminally ill or sick, and that's why I'm not angry at the world around me.
Yeah.
Just to find, not blame, not to feel they have to fix it, but to feel I have a way to heal what's in me. There's nothing wrong with me. There's
Yeah.
nothing to fix. I just have to find out what is the hurt and then soothe the hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with grief, what are you grieving?
Yeah.
Is it you're grieving the partner you wanted that you didn't have? Is it you're grieving a childhood that you never had? Is it you grieving the job that you didn't get? It can be something like that that's now causing you to be upset or get angry or get anxious about things. It's just finding the why for a lot of things.
Mm. That's so beautiful. All right, so we're coming towards the end, and so I wanted to just highlight you. Like, what are any upcoming offerings that you would like to share to the audience? Like, what do you want to leave that you want people to reach out to you? Like, how can we find
Well, people are always scared to start.
you? Mm-hmm.
They're scared of art therapy because they think, oh, I'm going to paint a mountain and you're going to tell me that mountain says I am not a strong person or I am the strong and how the mountain is shaped. It's nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to look at your own art into the butt so that you can start on your own slowly. I created a free workbook of it's called I Don't Know Where to Start.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 8 soft prompts for you to try out, journal prompts and art prompts for you to try out on your own. See if something helps a little bit or if you'd like to explore more. That can be downloaded for free from my website. You join my newsletter for that. But I'm not one of those people who are very productive in my newsletter writing. I do it once a month. So you'll only hear from me once a month for the newsletters. And we're actually going to have, I'm doing a collaboration, a workshop that we're going to start in September of the weight we weren't meant to carry. So once a week, we're going to get together, talk about people who have experienced any violence or seen violence, or, we get bombarded by violence through the media, anything that's causing you anxiety, the news, things like that. So people are more than welcome to join that, but we have not released anything official for that yet. So to hear about that, join the newsletter. And once you've tried out the prompts, people are more than welcome to come to me for one free session. You can join a free session to experience therapeutic art and no obligation. You don't even have to sign up for anything afterwards. It's just to come and try it out because I want people to experience it. I want people to know what therapeutic art or art therapy is about, what it can show them. If you just want to join for one session, it's fine with me, as long as you get a taste of what it can do for you.
Oh, that's so beautiful. All right, so the last one, and this is just words to our listeners. What advice do you have for someone going through a hard time who wants to use creativity to heal?
Well, I started this as a challenge a couple of years ago of creating one thing a day, a check in, little notebook, even a little notebook like this every day. I wrote down the date, how I'm feeling, and how just a scribble if I was angry that day, or a little mark if I was If I was sad that day, I would maybe draw a tear or something. And then every week I would go through them. Because if you do it the same day, you could do it the same day, but go through them and see how you felt that week. And then maybe sit and wonder why. And, I started Monday feeling angry, but did I end it feeling angry and why not? Ah, that happened. I went for a walk and I heard a bird sing. Maybe I can bring that more into my, what can I bring more in to my days to find the little joys in my day? At the moment, that's my big thing is finding the little joys in a day and to try and bring them more of them into a day because looking for the big things to make you happy when you're going through a difficult time is not a good thing. It's not going to make you happy because you're going to now wait for this big thing to make you happy. Look for the small things, and then after a while, you half the page, and then you draw how you felt in the morning, and then in the evening, you draw the joy you found in the day. That canceled it out, maybe. And maybe today you felt calm, and
Mm,
then you also found a joy in the day. But it makes you, helps you focus on the good things,
yeah.
the little things you can be grateful for. Because I think when we're going through difficult times, we focus on the bad, we
Yeah.
focus on the pain, we focus on the sadness, and we think, my whole day is black. My whole day was this depressing, awful thing. But if I have to sit down for 5 minutes at night and think of one thing that made me smile today, I'll remember, oh yeah, that little kid gave me a little heart she colored.
Yeah.
Oh, that did make my day.
Yeah.
It was a good day. Okay. So that would be my advice of, and don't just say it. Draw a little picture, write it down, and keep a little record of it. And at the end of the month, you'll be surprised at how many small
Yeah.
little pieces of joy you could find.
That's so beautiful. Oh wow. Thank you so much. It was
Oh,
such an amazing honor to
well,
just
thank you for inviting me. And I know once I start talking, I talk, talk, talk.
oh, it's beautiful. I had art therapy today from you. So it was such an honor. It was so beautiful meeting you today. And
Oh, it was lovely to meet you.
you're all the way in Kuwait. That is so what
Thank
like
you.
that is I just feel famous.
Thank you so much. And thank you for inviting me. And I hope, and you are more than welcome to come and join me for a session if you want.
Okay, sounds great. All right. Well, we thank you so much. And that was it of episode 2, Marks of Healing, Turning Trauma into Art. Thank you.
Thank you and love you.